Hello, and welcome to this first video in a three-part video series on creating and using outcomes in Canvas. Through this series, you will learn everything you need to use outcomes in Canvas. So let's get started. To start, let's define what an outcome is. The simple answer is, it allows you to use standards-based grading in Canvas. The longer answer is that it is a rubric or scale that is embedded into Canvas and attaches a standard or learning outcome to any assignment, discussion, or quiz within Canvas. In the end, it allows you to track student mastery according to your standards, all within Canvas. To access outcomes, open any course that you'd like to add outcomes to, and you will find the blue link on the left side. Just simply click on that, and it will take you to the Outcomes menu. Once you're in the Outcomes menu, you have a couple different options. The first option is to create a new group. This group would be essentially your parent standard or the folder that you're going to put all of your standards for that group in. So to create a new group, all you do is you just click on the Create New Group, give it a title, and then check the box. Pretty simple to create a group in Canvas. Remember, this would be your parent standard that you're going to nest your slows underneath. Now, to actually create an outcome, it's pretty simple. All you're going to do is click on the plus create button, and it's going to give you a pop-up window. The first option is going to be name. So here is where you're probably going to want to put your identifier for your slow. So for this, I'm just going to put slow 1.1. Now, that's not a really student-friendly name, and students probably aren't going to really understand what slow 1.1 is. So over here, you can create a student-friendly name. And so in this case, I'm going to pop in that this would be about state building. Pretty simple. So it's just a student-friendly identifier. Under the description, this is where you're going to put your I can statement. If you scroll down just a little bit, you're going to get to a friendly description. Now, this is what's going to be displayed for parents and students in addition to the description. If your I can statement is already written in student-friendly language and easy to understand, you can skip the friendly description. It is not necessary. The last option here is where it's going to be. Now, as of right now, I don't have any groups created, so I don't have a parent standard to nest this slow under. But if I wanted to, I could create a new group, and I could put parent 1 and create that group. Now I would be able to nest this slow under the parent 1. So from here, all I have to do is click create. And now you can see I have my parent 1 parent standard. And then when I click on it, it expands out and I can see that I now have that slow already included here. Under mastery, calculation, and alignments, you don't have to do anything. All of this information has already been added by the district. It's default. So all you have to do is come in and create your slows and your parent standards kind of one by one. Now, if you would like to do this in a little bit different fashion and you'd like to upload all of your slows at one time because you already have them for your PLC or your content area, I'm now going to show you how you can do a bulk upload. But before I do that, I need to delete my standard. I would like to point out at this time that you cannot delete a standard if it is already attached to an assignment. So if it's already attached to an assignment, and in Canvas they refer to that as an alignment. So if you look up here, this is the Alignments tab. If it is attached to an assignment, which is an alignment, you will not be able to delete it until you go to that assignment and unalign it. But since this slow is not aligned to anything, I can just come here and I can click remove and delete this slow. It's pretty simple to do. So now I look and there's nothing here. Now, if I want to get rid of my parent standard as well, I can come and do that. As long as there's nothing, no slows underneath it, I can remove it as well. So I can go back to basically the base. So again, you cannot delete a outcome if it has been attached to an assignment. Now that you know how to add an outcome individually, let me show you how you can add all of your standards at one time in a bulk upload using a Google Sheet. First, begin with the outcomes template. This is the outcomes template. I've already filled it out as an example for my course, but you would get a blank version. So the description would be blank, the title would be blank, the display name would be blank, and you would essentially have to add the information in. However, it's just as simple as copying and pasting for the most part. So for now, we're going to ignore the first column, this vendor guide. We will come back to that at the very, very end, but for now, we can just leave it. The next group we're going to look at, or the next column, is object type. This is where you're going to label your standards as either a parent or as a SLO. Anything that is a parent is going to be identified by the word group. Anything that is a SLO is going to be labeled with the word outcome. I've added colors here so you can see the difference, but you do not have to have the colors. All you have to do is have, if it is a parent standard, you're going to have the word group, no capital letters, and then if it is a SLO, you're going to have the word outcome. You can see here I have mine kind of organized in a nice, neat way. Yours may not look like this. You may have a parent standards that has 5 or 6 or 7 SLOs underneath it. That's fine. All you have to do is come into the row here and just click insert row below, and then go ahead and add in the new information. So again, if this was I was adding an outcome here, I would just have to type in the word outcome, add my SLO number, and then copy my information in. So that's all you have to do under the object type. It is either group for parent standard or SLO or outcome if it's a SLO. The next column is title. So if it's a group, or in this case a parent standard, I'm just going to give it a shortened title. So in this case, my first whole unit is about the American Revolution. So that's what I'm going to give it. But underneath for my outcomes, I'm just going to give it the official SLO title. So in this case, I'm just going to go 1.1, SLO 1.2, etc. down. As I get into my second unit, SLO 2.1, your wording for your title is going to be dependent on your content area. So this is just going to be, for me, the SLO identifier. The next column is description. This is where you're simply going to paste in your I can statements for every SLO. So I've even pasted in my description for my parent group. So, but you don't have to. This could be blank up here for that. You only have to copy and paste in your I can statements for each SLO. The next column is going to be display name. This is just a shortened version. This is optional, but I always choose to put something here. So I put like a 2 to 3 word description of what that SLO is about. So my first SLO is basically about the causes of the American Revolution, so that becomes my display name. So if a student looks at it, they immediately know what this SLO is about in a very shortened title. The next column is calculation method. Now we are using most recent score, so we always want the word to be latest for all of these. You should have a blank here for calculation method. It will be blank for your parent standard. So if I'm on the row here for parent standard, you will see that it's blank. But for each of my SLOs, you're going to have the word latest. And so again, you can just type it in once and then copy and paste it into all of your SLOs for your entire way down. It is really important that you have the word latest for each of your SLOs though, because this is what tells Canvas to apply the most current score to this. For calculation integer, the next column, G, you're just going to leave it blank. You're not going to put anything there. For now, we're going to skip the parent guide and we're going to go over to workflow. The workflow state for everything, this includes your SLOs and your parent standards, must be the word active. So you can see I have a row here that would be a new SLO that I don't have the word active in, so I'm just going to copy and paste it. Again, you don't have to type this every time. You can just type it in the first row and copy and paste it to everything. For the next column, it is mastery points. This is basically telling Canvas what is going to be mastery. So for our district, a 3 proficient is mastery. So you're just going to put 3 for every one of your SLOs. It is going to be blank for your parent standards because you're not assessing a parent standard. Under ratings, this is going to be the same for all of your SLOs, and it's going to be blank for your parent. And this is going to be, your ratings. The first column, so column K should be a 4. Column L should be highly proficient because a 4 would be highly proficient. M3, N proficient because a 3 is proficient, and it goes all the way down to a 0, and then in column T, insufficient or missing. Again, this can all be copy and pasted from row to row, so it makes it really, really quick to add in all of this information. It's not something that you have to go line by line. It's just most of it is copy and paste. You've already done the work, just copy and paste it to the next row. Now we get to the tricky part of this. However, I have tried to make it as easy as possible for you. Before we can import this file into Canvas, each row of your Google Sheet that contains information such as a parent standard or an outcome must get a unique identification number in column A for vendor guide. The way Canvas works, each row that contains information must be unique and cannot be duplicated across our district. I don't expect you to create these identification numbers on your own. Instead, I've provided a number generator that does all the heavy lifting for you. So all you need to do is go to the menu bar of your Google Sheet, find the last drop-down menu titled Start Here, and click it. You may need to give the app permission to run. If you're prompted, please give it permission. From the drop-down, you will have an option to open the directions. So if you open the directions, it will open a sidebar here that will walk you through all of the steps I'm going to go over with you right now. But in case you wanted to have those on the side to kind of go step by step on your own, those directions are there. Now, what we really want to click on is the option for Create IDs. This will auto-generate a random 16-digit alphanumeric vendor ID. If you're doing this in a PLC where everyone is using the same parent standards and slows, you can make a copy of this file for each person and then have each person run the vendor ID on their own so that each will have their own unique vendor ID. Remember, each person and each course must have unique vendor ID numbers. So all you have to do, click Start Here, click Create IDs. It will run the script for you, and it will create a unique ID for every row that has content. So now you can see that my groups, my parent folder, has a unique 16-digit alphanumeric code that will be 100% authentic. If you don't do this, if you were just to go to vendor guide and type in 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers that are super simple, even 100, 101, 102, it would be rejected by Canvas because someone in our district has already used that number, and a vendor guide number can only be associated to one standard in the entire district. So this creates a basically unrepeatable number for each one, so you shouldn't have any problems. Now that you've created your vendor IDs in the first column, we have one more step we need to take care of before we're ready to upload to Canvas. We need to assign our slows to a parent group. So you can see that I have my group here, American Revolution, but I have, in this, I have 4 slows attached to it. So I need to make sure that Canvas recognizes that these 4 slows should be nested under this group or this parent folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the vendor ID or the vendor guide here for my parent folder. So in this case, it's cell A2, and I'm just going to copy that. So I'm going to Control C. Now I have to go over and basically assign this. So I go to my parent guide and I go to these rows here that are my slows, and I just click paste. Now this has told Canvas that all 4 of these slows are actually supposed to go under this parent ID. So it's going to automatically group them here. So it's very, very important that I do that. Okay, so I've grouped them here. Now I'm going to do this really quick for all of my groups, and I'm going to use this to show you how to do it. So I go down to my next parent folder, grab it, slide over, and I'm going to paste it into these 4. I'm going to repeat this process for each of my parent folders and each of my slows. Okay, so now I have my 16-digit alphanumeric code for each one of these, all set and ready to go. And now I'm ready for my next step. All we have to do now is get it into Canvas. To do this, we're going to go to File, in our Google Sheet, and we're going to go to download. And from the download, you're going to get a series of options, but we want to select the comma separated values CSV file. So I'm just going to click that. It is going to download to my hard drive, to my computer. And now I'm ready to pop over to Canvas. So I pop over to Canvas. I'm still in my outcomes folder, whereas before we clicked create to create one individually. For this one, we are going to click the import feature. So I'm going to click import. It's going to bring me to the next window. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to grab that download we just did. So this Canvas outcomes with script sheet 1, and I'm going to open it. It's going to take a few minutes, but it will upload everything. So as you can see, I had a 100% success rate. I now have instantaneously all of my slows for the American Revolution. So we have my parent standard here, the American Revolution. I can go down now and I can see the 4 slows that are nested under my parent of American Revolution. I have the same for Civil War. I have all my slows nested under there. Historical skills, everything is here. All of my parent standards, all of my slows uploaded incredibly quickly. Whether you're doing it individually or as bulk, I hope that by the end of this video now, you have the ability to add outcomes into your Canvas course. In the next video, you'll be learning how to apply these outcomes to assignments, discussions, and quizzes. And then in the final video series, you'll be looking at how you can look at the data from this. I hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next video.